Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, cool. This is Rockman 5. Start with Starman.
Lovely stage.
Oh,
So Mega Man 5, the thing that stands out to me quite a bit, it's actually just a subtle mechanics thing. You probably won't notice this just casually, but pretty much every enemy has iframes, kind of like how bosses have iframes, but it's a much smaller interval, but still, if you're just straight up mashing, a lot of those extra hits actually do no damage in this game. So because of that, you'll see a lot of real rhythmic shots. So like those turrets only have the 2 HP, but you have to make sure to have the shot spaced out in such a way that they actually die. And Starman is a pretty tough stage to start with, but it's, I mean, without a doubt you want to start with Starman, because it gives you, it's the stage that gives you Super Arrow at the end, and it's one of the most OP items, or extra weapons, I guess, in Mega Man game. Super Arrow is super fast.
it's so good.
Unfortunately, there's not much in this stage. It doesn't seem like there's much in the stage where you could save time with anything else. I mean, what is it, like Wave that's good against Starman? It goes through a shield. It's kind of nice.
It goes through a shield. It's kind of weird, but
It is kind of weird. But yeah, if you get close to him, you can kind of like point blank through his shield. It's a little awkward. Not totally intuitive, but that's kind of a big window. It's not too hard to do. So just like Mega Man 4, this has some kind of like stand in the center pixel and get like teleported type thing, right?
Nah,
No.
not 5, but for Gravity after the fight, you saw me jumping before the fanfare. If you do it right, you can basically have normal gravity for that part. So you saw like he jumped up and floated down, like because that's Star's gravity. But if you do it right, or you could also randomly get it, he'll just fall with normal gravity. So it saves like...
And he won't teleport away until after you've landed on the ground and it starts some kind of timer or something.
Got it.
So Gravity Man stage is this is a really technical stage, actually. There's a lot of real cool stuff going on here, and of course the core mechanic is this crazy inverted gravity. But shout outs to the theme. Gravity Man song is amazing. This is such a good, like, jazzy tune. It's like I want to say it's like the longest stage track in the game. It's like a 1:10 loop. This theme is awesome. But yeah, right away, you see the Super Arrow getting some serious use.
Great. I'm gonna grab this just in case.
Not a bad idea. But one subtlety to the Super Arrow, as long as Mega Man is standing on it while it's flying, the weapon energy depletes. While normally it only costs 2 to shoot one, you could easily run out your entire bar just by riding the Super Arrow. This is a super tricky screen to do smoothly.
Gross.
And this boss has like no RNG in it, right? Pretty
There's a
straightforward.
new fight actually.
Okay.
That I'll try to do, but probably won't succeed. Hey,
Oh,
I got
whoa,
it.
okay.
So that you get an extra hit there when he's jumping, which we didn't used to know we didn't used to do. So you basically kill him. Normally he would land on the ceiling and then walk over a bit and fall. So it's pretty tight. I got it like once out of 15 times practicing, but
I didn't know his hitbox would like be within reach. Where he does just a normal jump and you just do a normal jump. It's like barely enough to hit him.
yeah, it's super weird too because like you're timing your jump so that the gravity reverses as you're falling. But if you jump too soon, like you smack your head and you just instantly like you lose all your momentum, or like you basically just fall straight to the ceiling. So it's you can't do. Oh jeez.
Subtleties. There's subtleties to when you jump to affect the gravity. Okay, not a huge deal here because yeah, you're guaranteed to deplete the Super Arrow. But since this is any percent, Oh, well. I'll wait and see what you do, actually. I don't know what the meta is. I think I saw you fighting with Beat earlier, so
Yeah.
probably collect the Beat letter here in the stage.
Yeah. I still get beat, even though it is... Beatless is faster again. But it's super inconsistent, so I still get beat.
Yeah, this game is notorious for having the final Wily capsule pretty much only weak to Beat. Yes. Okay. So to do that, you have to collect one of these letters in every stage?
Every robot master.
Every stage. Spells have Rockman 5. I always liked the super arrow usage in this stage. There's some clever, like, just kind of high positions on it. So there's nothing we could use one here. Oh. And then, sadly, Gravity, as cool as Gravity Man stage was and that boss fight was, this is just kind of the cop-out, lame weapon that just kind of hits everything on the screen. And it's pretty much the only... Well, okay, there's a couple of spots that you use it, but... Good fight.
Good boss. Yeah, Gravity is super good. Because, yeah, like Duck said, it hits everything in the screen. You don't stop when you use it, like with in 4, whatever that weapon is.
It can be like bright. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
And this is, you're pretty free to use it kind of whenever you want. It does a ton of damage.
Yeah, and it doesn't kill the enemies. It makes them shoot into the sky, so there's no drops. And if you're playing casually, you probably want the drops. But
so I guess
speedrun is really good.
Enemies that are normally shielded too, just it instantly kills them.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
There is a backup for this, but damn it.
Oh, that's the cycles didn't quite work out.
Yeah. Probably should have waited. I should have switched to Star. Star is the super easy way to get through that. Yeah, I started holding, I stopped sliding too soon. Oh, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, this stage is kind of a nightmare casually. These, the dropping crystal sections are really, really tough if you don't take it really slow.
You're gonna give me ammo, Eddie? Alright. Actually, I don't actually know if that does anything to these guys.
Huh. Okay, take back what I said about the invulnerability thing. Or... Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure every enemy has like a weapon damage table to it, just like bosses.
Yeah.
So.
This is super off.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I'm used to if you have.
He was on screen a little too long, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. I didn't swap to,
Oh, shit. Okay, yeah. Now it's like Buster only.
Alright, fuck this noise.
These strats. Oof, okay. Good reaction.
That's the,
Hey!
Alright.
We could do a full run if you could do the 8 stages.
There we go. Are you kidding me, dude?
This little Roomba down there.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Pretty raw, yeah.
I've actually been practicing this game too. Alright. So we grab that M-Tank. One of the reasons Beatless is so much faster, or has the potential to be so much faster, is because you just skip this entire stage. But we can't skip it because, or I can't skip it because to get beat you need all the letters. And if you skip the stage, obviously you don't get that letter. But it saves so much time. You basically take a, a death, an intentional death in the beginning, and overwrite some values. So it thinks that you died past the checkpoint, basically. And then when you respawn in the boss corridor.
It's definitely one of the screwier classic Mega Man tricks. Okay, good.
Well, that was exciting. Alright. So yeah, a lot of like this game does revolve, or the speedrun revolves pretty heavily around Super Arrow and Super Arrow ammo conservation. So dying after you've used Super Arrow can be pretty brutal.
Another great stage and great tunes. The real fun strats in this stage too. This part with these moving crushers is pretty subtle. If you don't move in quite the right way, a third one can spawn at the end there. And it's instant kill if those things touch you. Always kind of bothered me that the water in this part doesn't like overlap your sprite like it does in 4. It just looks a little cheaper to me. So, yeah. So in running off of the edge of the Super Arrow there, since the arrow and weapon energy only depletes while Mega Man is standing on it, while you're kind of running off of the front edge, it doesn't count that time spent. So the weapon energy decreases a little slower. So it was necessary to have him have an extra Super Arrow shot for that next screen there. You'll see that in pretty much every Super Arrow section to conserve as much Super Arrow ammo as they can.
Yeah, you only do it when you need to conserve ammo, because it actually creates lag. So
yeah, I guess it does. I always see it lagging when that happens.
yeah, I think in the in Gyro, the very first one you do, it adds like 20 frames of lag.
Whoa, okay, yeah, that's pretty significant.
But it's definitely worth it.
I mean, that's a long screen too. Even if you were holding forward, doesn't it fully deplete no matter what? In that?
No, you can end up with 1 ammo left at the end of that.
Oh, okay.
Which you use to just jump up and get the ammo.
Okay,
Yeah,
where that little spiky ball is. Yep.
So like I had to go.
So it's
around.
worth it.
Yeah. Definitely saves more time than that. But. Yeah. So in the last stage, I switched to Crystal, but in Ultra Stratus, you just use Gravity.
Yeah, I was expecting to see Gravity.
It's a little slower, but.
It's definitely Gravity usage in this stage, though, right? Like near the end.
Not anymore.
You guys have routed all that out. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
It's all more consistent, but like switching to Gravity basically is only slower by the menu. It's just an extra menu. But you do save the menu if you switch. Like switching to Crystal there, save the menu, and then at the end of the stage, you can use Gravity, but I've started trying to do switching to Napalm there, which is a lot trickier than the Crystal part is.
Yeah, you don't see Napalm used like at all. Napalm's like a real awkward weapon. And
It's awful. Hello?
usually see people through a super arrow right there. Oh.
Yeah, you're supposed to kill the Metroid that hit me. But I didn't.
Now with gravity, maybe. Oh no, I'm thinking next screen. 2 screens from now. No, never mind. I don't know anything about this game. Rush just cruising up there. Alright.
Just hanging out.
Not quite a Mega Man 11 Rush jet jump, but still pretty decent. Is that a hidden path over there on the right, or am I thinking?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
There's an M-Tank there.
M-Tank. Okay.
Oh, actually,
Gravity?
Let's do gravity after all. Because you would deboost him, And if you miss, you'd have to deboost him too. And my health's not that high, so...
Taking out those crappy Mets. Like, this has the worst Met in a Mega Man game.
Yeah, the land Mets, if you kill them, they break into 3. The underwater Mets don't do that. It's only the land Mets for some reason. Who knows why?
Oh, the underwater ones, just regular ones? I thought they like did this like flipper.
Oh yeah,
flippery thing.
yeah. They jump.
Okay.
But yeah. So the underwater ones jump, whereas these guys are stationary. But the underwater ones just die when you kill them.
Yeah, they don't. They take forever to shoot.
Yeah. You'll see them later.
It's been a really cool stage too. Is it like Wily 2? Wily 1?
2.
1, 2.
Alright, Charge Man.
A nice super arrow stage with some kind of tricky like high arrow placements you got to do. And there's a couple of weird options in this stage. You can kind of do an extra super arrow if you get lucky on your drops. That looks good. Another great song too.
Yeah, this one has such great songs.
And here's where the iframes on enemies becomes real subtly difficult. It only takes 3 shots on those chickens, but you have to have your shots spaced out like perfectly, or else damage gets negated.
I want to dedicate the chicken room to Johnny. Yeah, so if any of these guys, if the last guys give you ammo, then you can switch to super arrow from this room. Otherwise, oops. Yeah, like these guys are really annoying.
That's relatively unique to Mega Man 5, just because super arrow is so fast when you use it. You won't really see a drop luck like dependence in other Mega Man games.
Alright, now we get to see the best weapon in the game.
Power Stone. Welcome to the Power Stone world. Anyone? Probably not.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It just kind of goes through them sometimes. I tried to do a pauseless strat, so I got the first hit, or I guess the second hit.
Yeah, because you have to wait for the spinning rocks to leave the screen before you can shoot another one. But if you pause, it
clears them and you can use them immediately.
But it's hard to say because the time spent pausing it's significant.
Yeah, it takes so long. But what you can do is, if you're positioned correctly, you can actually hit them with all 3, and then you can shoot, you can shoot again without having to pause. So I got one of them. But then I missed the second.
This is a chill as fuck song.
It's so good, which is good because you're in this stage for so fucking long. This is the longest stage.
Alright, double bubble.
Nice feedback. Alright, well, we'll do this a slower way then. So this is the intended way. You're supposed to ride the big bubbles. The small bubbles pop. Oh, there's so much cutoff on this TV. Wow.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I guess it works.
So that's the backup.
Nice.
Alright.
So yeah, if you're sliding as the screen approaches the spot where you lose control and Mega Man walks over to the jet ski, if you're sliding during that, you retain control and you can also jump out of that slide. So if you do that to get to the screen transition, it never actually triggers that cutscene. You never get on the boat, and it's got some interesting side effects when you do it like this, including a potential soft lock. So be careful.
Yeah. If you touch the water before you transition the screen, you soft lock the game, which I was actually really close to.
And of course, there's the notorious letter to collect at the end here that I always scares the hell out of me. Trying to, or like missing this thing, because of course you have to do the auto scroller again.
So that mini boss is like definitely his iframes are very noticeable. You have to hit him. Yeah, he has 20 health, I think. So it takes a while.
Yeah, even on mini bosses, that's pretty brutal.
So you can despawn your sprite. Saves a little lag. The only issue is that if you're off the screen when the screen that wasn't fully charged. If you're off the screen when the screen transitions, you soft lock. Then also. So you just have to make sure you get back on the screen. What a jerk.
Oh,
I'm out of...
I guess that's the thing. And of course, Mega Man 5, the first game in the series to introduce charge interrupt. If you take damage, cancels your charge. Wow.
Can you update my estimate? How many lives do I have? I'll go for the 2-framer. That is true. That is true. Alright, 8 robos. 21-minute 8 robo.
So just like 4 and 6, the theme in this is like sort of an extra set of Wily stages, or extra, or sort of fake Wily stages before revealing the true final boss. This is the Darkman stages.
Yeah, I love this theme.
Good thing, but it's better in a speedrun because you go through the stages fast enough and it doesn't get annoying.
Alright. So, still doing the 2-framer. There we go. You have 2 frames to get that, otherwise you fall into the pit and die. But in theory, like, you should be able to tell that you're not going to make it, so you can and you can turn back and it doesn't lose any time. But I don't actually know what it looks like if you don't make it. Oh, I don't make it sometimes. I just then die because I never turn back. Yeah, so there's this very heavy rush jet use in this stage, because there's Yoku blocks, and Yoku blocks are slow.
And after you beat each Darkman stage, you still have the same amount of weapon energy, so that's why he's not just like dumping super arrows right away.
I don't have enough health to do the fast strat, I don't think.
So these are the Darkman. There's 3 Darkman, I think, something like that. So strange, like sort of Robot Master style bosses.
So this is the safe way to do this boss.
Nice.
There's a faster way where you kill him in the corner. So for this game, you teleport after a certain amount of time after you kill the boss, unlike 3 and 4 where you want to kill him in the center, because then that timer counts down once all the bubbles leave the screen. But for this one, you want to kill him in the corner, so that way there's less lag because the bubbles exit the screen faster. So like all the time save in that boss fight is entirely because you despawn some of the.
These are little pod guys. Okay.
I almost never miss that. All right. That's exciting. Don't kill these guys. You can usually kill them to maybe reduce some lag, but if you're missing health, you don't want to do that, because if you get a drop, you're probably gonna die. It's very hard to react to drops and still get your jump off.
Oh, impossible section here. Okay, didn't get a few of the slide jumps.
Yeah.
Some super arrow action right here, huh? Or
No.
no. I'm thinking of Darkman 3.
Yeah, Dark 3 has a ton of super arrow usage.
And mostly just conserving now to save for Dark 3, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also use our M tank in Dark 3.
Oh, okay.
See if I can do this fight.
Beat already making an appearance.
That's basically the fight. So see, you want to kill him in the corner again for the bubbles. So yeah, that's Beat. He's the reason that we got collected the letters. We use him in a few fights. This one, Dark 4, and then a Wily Capsule, which is the main reason for him. But he does speed up these ones also. But yeah, he consumes 2 ammo every time he attacks, and yeah. This stage is super nerve-wracking.
Pretty awesome speed stage. And I think you get a full refill after the Darkman stages going into Wily? Free weapon refill, or no? No. Mega Man just goes straight there.
Still shared. Right. Yeah.
No time for a pit stop.
So this is... Fuck. God damn it.
Meant to switch?
No, you're supposed to jump off and conserve your ammo.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so we're doing this backup, which I hate. Usually you're supposed to have two arrows here. Hello? Usually, yeah.
Oh man, I see what you were doing though. Ugh.
So this is why the stage is really painful.
Worth just busting out the M tank right now, or?
I'm not actually sure. Probably.
Okay, if you have,
but
at least you have
we'll do this a bit.
Does this SMW style like snake game?
Hopefully this guy doesn't knock me into a pit and kill me. Alright. So I was trying to back deboost that guy.
Yes, that's turning around, yep. Just to save those frames. You know, it's already a backup strat.
Alright, let's... Nope. Oh boy.
It's this guy. There's a relatively forgiving hitbox for landing on those super arrows. You can land on it quite high.
Yeah, not sure what I was doing there.
Nice.
Alright. That one, so, like a lot of the super arrows in this stage look... Oh shit, wait. Okay, good. There's a pattern he gives where you need to deboost, which I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to survive. You should. Yeah, we're fine now, but... Unless he freezes me. A lot of the super arrows in this stage look really tight, like that one where... The previous one where I slid under the guy. But I think it's like it's a 2 or 3 pixel window, and it's basically you do a A+B. So usually you shoot it on the very first pixel. If you're too low, if you shoot from the ground, one of the guys eats your arrow and you just die.
Okay, so it needs to be a little bit above the ground, but it can't be
not
high
too
enough
high,
to...
because then you get hit by the guy.
You can't slide under it. Okay. And this is a mind fuck completely. I can't follow this. So yeah, you sort of want to break as many blocks per like screen movement cycle, but it's totally unintuitive how it works. You just memorize a good way to do it.
Plus, while the floor is falling, you can't shoot blocks. Your lemon just go right through it.
Oh, okay.
So like, you have to time it. It's really hard to do well.
The L tank.
The only instance, right? So now this is just a deep race.
This is just a... I mean, it looks exactly like the Darkman 2 boss fight. But he's shooting.
Yeah. It's exactly the same, but he shoots.
So thankfully, no more Darkman bosses. And we find
Now
out who the true
Oh my
crook
god!
was.
It was Wily all along. Shocking. The whole thing was that Wily framed your friend Proto-Man. Blues or Bruce. It's Blues, but it seems like the Japanese makes it sound like it could be Bruce, so that's why I like to call him Bruce.
Okay, Bruce. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Think about that.
But yeah, so Wily frames Proto-Man, so that's why you think that it's him. But then it's revealed, no, it was Wily the whole time. So now there's the Wily stages. This is actually one of the disappointing things about MM11 is that you just go straight into Wily and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And it's relatively short.
Yeah, they're super
Wily
short.
section.
We're like this one has Dark and Wily. MM3 has the Doc Robots.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like super short in game.
Yeah, there's like 6 actual stages to play through in the end game in this game. And in Mega Man 11, it's 2.
Yeah, it's so short. I don't know why. Alright. Yep.
And this is an excellent speed stage too. It's really cool to execute this. And a nice variety of different mechanics. Got funky super arrow. No? No?
Is that
Okay.
alive? I was afraid that was gonna be too high.
You're gonna switch. Yeah.
You usually have
It's just-
have more ammo there, so you just stay on super arrow.
This screen is totally worth it though. So.
Is that high?
And Mega Man 4 makes a comeback. Now that having to deal with the iframes of these enemies can kind of make this a little inconsistent sometimes.
There's actually a zip you can do now on that screen. That saves, I think, maybe 2 Crusher cycles. So it actually saves quite a bit of time. But it's a 3 frame window. When the Crusher pushes you into the ground, you got 3 frames hit A, and it'll just push you in. Oops, mess up this.
Okay, so 4 and 5 do have some Crusher-based zips.
The only problem with the one in this game is that because it's you're doing it as it's pushing you in. If you miss it, you die. So it saves. Like if it looks freaking cool.
So shout outs to
it's-
Big Pets, that was the boss.
Yeah, big pets. There's a cool quick kill you can do for that, but I messed it up basically instantly. So
But yeah, you got to see what the idea was. You kind of damage boosting inside them and standing inside.
Yeah, I
them.
did the deboost once.
This is the water section we were thinking of. Coming up. And I like the Wily stages in this because you get to fight the strange like style machines that Wily has made. And the Darkman stages are just basically robot masters. I always thought the Wily stages had some pretty creative bosses in this game. Just like Mega Man 4, I'm pretty sure you can't slide jump underwater, right?
Not. So you have to be careful with your slides, or cancel them.
So it becomes Mega Man 6 slide physics underwater, essentially.
Yeah. Could go for the dark man.
Oh, these are regular Mets? Do they explode into tiny ones?
I'm not actually sure. I'm sure they probably do.
Yeah.
I've never actually killed them though. So. Just that was a full charge.
That's kind of weird. In a few screens in this game, you can kind of get stuck at the front of the screen here. And it changes
No. Sorry, Prissy. There's a cool strat there that Prissy came up with called Chicken Ride, where you summon rush jet and jump on them, and basically just like because the chicken's hitbox is lower, so you can
Circling Q9. It's another interesting Wily boss.
no, dude.
Extra cycle here.
Feels super bad. I hate that boss. But that was actually a really good pattern. I just shot You can hit you can hit him twice in the opening when he opens like that. But my second one hit his iframes. So and then I accidentally shot the other gyro straight up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. You do get a couple of shots where it fires it straight up and he kind of moves into it, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the fight. Okay, so one of the real interesting features about Mega Man 5, I think it's the only Mega Man game besides 1 where you can straight up skip most of the refights. This is the only one that you really have to fight because I think if you try to zip, you'll just enter this teleporter if you don't kill him. So you kill him first so that you can actually do the zip. Turns out super arrows can just push you through walls at the right pixel position. So just like that, boom, like 2.5 minutes saved. And it was only like 3 or 4 years ago where they discovered that. And there was a lot of competitive Mega Man 5 times at the time, and it just destroyed the leaderboard.
Yeah, saves 2 minutes. So like, yeah, basically obsoleted.
It was like right after BJW got world record or something like that. It was like
right along that is like 34 or 30.
He had such a good time.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
And then it just completely got lost.
Yeah, that's what it was. Is the run nowadays like as optimized as Ohan's was back then? Remember, it was...
It's pretty good, but it's not like there's some. I think there's some relatively big mistakes.
3318?
It's 3307 or something now, or 05. Super. What? What? I thought Baron got an OX.
Either way, like that L1 run was
I'm trying to mess that one up. So, not only the super arrow really good for speed, it's also this boss's weakness.
totally awkward to get the iframes to work out. So.
Alright, Beat, what you gonna do? So, this fight, so you see him spawning at the top. Fuck. So, the way beatless works, I'm gonna tank just in case, because I didn't have the tracking on there. The way beatless works is you basically pray that he spawns on the lower half, so you can hit him with a charge buster shot, like this.
You can also like use gravity hold to see where he's going to spawn next, and like switch to gyro or something if you're going to get if he's completely out of range.
This is awful. Yeah, because actually, Wily doesn't actually go invisible. It's just like the background. So if you use gravity, it flashes. Here, I'll show you, and you actually see where he spawns. Right there. So I messed up my beat ammo.
Yeah, I guess it consumes ammo when beat goes towards the target.
So it consumes ammo.
Ready on time. Boom.
That was certainly a run. Yeah, so beat consumes ammo when he hits Wily. But the problem is, like, the whole difficulty with that fight is you need to make sure he does not attack during Wily's iframes, because then he'll consume his ammo but not deal damage, which is what I did a couple times. So, like, the idea is you have him attack twice and then attack him while he's disappearing, and then he'll just follow him basically. And he deals 2 damage each shot and consumes 2 ammo, so you have just enough. So if you mess up any of them, you have to do the fight the other way. But yeah, so the problem with beatless is that if you get really good luck, which is I think optimal with like 1 gravity is 3% to have all low spawns, then you can kill him in fewer phases, I think, because you're dealing 6 damage a cycle instead of 4.
You can get 2 full charges.
You can get 2
like
full
right,
charges
right away, and then start another one. Okay, yeah.
Well, I think for all except for 1 spawn, 1 hittable spawn, which is when he spawns on top of you. But if he spawns above, then you can't hit him with a buster. So then you can switch to gyro, but like basically every time he spawns above this in the upper half, you're losing time, like 7 seconds each time, I think.
And when switching to gyro, you're kind of gambling a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like a mitigation.
Yeah, and because of course every time you switch to gyro, you're losing time because of the menus. And when you switch to gravity, it's the same thing. You can see where he is, but you're losing time because of the menus. So it eats into your savings, but you save so much time in the 8 robos because you skip the stage. But yeah, so that's Rockman 5. Next is Rockman and Forte. Unless Chelby's been practicing back there with his switch. With his switch.
Oh, I'm sure it's Mega Man 4 over there.